Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing great. If you've been thinking that Canada has closed most of its PR pathways and you are feeling like your hopes of immigrating in 2025 are all gone, well, I have got some exciting news for you. Guess what? The IRCC has launched 2 brand new PR pathways that could make your dream of moving to Canada a reality in 2025. And if you are outside of Canada and looking for ways to immigrate in Canada, this video is definitely for you. So what are those 2 PR pathways? The first one is the Rural Community Immigration Program, RCIP. The second one is the Francophone Community Immigration Program, FCIP. You might have heard about them in Canada Gadget recently, but now they are officially up on the website. In today's videos, we are going to break down all the essential details like what's the eligibility criteria, how can you get your job offer letter, and here's the best part. Even if you are outside of Canada, you could be eligible for a work permit for you and your spouse while waiting for your PR to be approved. How amazing is that? So let's dive into the details of the RCIP and the FCIP program. On Google, type canada.ca. Click on Immigration and Citizenship, then click on Immigrate. These are the all pathways to come to Canada. Here click on Rural and Francophone Community Immigration Pilots. This is the all 18 rural and smaller communities which is participating for this immigration pilot. For rural community, here you can see this is the 14 communities which is participating, and for the Francophone you can see here are the 6 communities which is participating for this program. The Rural and Francophone Community Immigration Pilot aims to ensure that these communities continue to have the ability to access programs that address labor shortages and help local businesses find the workers they need. It will provide pathways to permanent residence for newcomers who can help to overcome critical labor job shortages and want to live long-term in these smaller communities. Let's check the criteria for the rural community and then we will check the criteria for the Francophone community. Click on Immigrate to Rural Community. Here you can see there are different sections like who can apply, the eligibility, get a job offer letter, permanent residency, and the optional work permit. First click on who can apply. This is the entire eligibility criteria for this program. You need to have, for RCIP, you need to have a valid job offer from a designated employer in the community and have at least 1 year of related work experience in the past 3 years. And what exactly count as a work experience? Work experience can be like your job offer from Tier O or 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 or 4, Tier 5. You need to have that main duties in the letter, description of your NOC, all those things should be there in your work experience letter. There is another thing, if you have studied or graduated from these community, then work experience is not required. But for that, you need to be eligible for credential in a program of 2 years or longer, and you studied full time for the entire program, got your credential no more than 18 months before applying for permanent residence, and were in the community for at least 16 of the last 24 months while studying. Or you can have a master degrees or higher that took 2 years or less, and you same thing studied full time for the entire degree, got your degree no more than 18 months before applying for PR, or were in the community for the length of your studies. So these are the criteria for the studies if you don't have the work experience from that particular community. Now the most important thing here comes is that the language ability. What is the criteria required for that? So click on taking an approved test. Here you can see for the English, this is accepted. The SOWP, IELTS and PTE. This is the acceptance criteria and it depends on your job. If you have job under Tier O or 1, then you need CLB level 6. If you have job under Tier 2 or 3, then you need CLB level 5. And if you have job under Tier 4 or 5, then you need CLB level 4. This is the entire table for the CLB level. I will attach this link in the description box so you can check later on. If you click here on the IELTS and we are talking about the tier 2 or 3, which is CLB level 5, you need to have 4.0 in reading, 5 in writing, 5 in listening and 5 in speaking, which is not the high criteria. It is very normal criteria to apply for the PR program. Make sure your results must be less than 2 years and old. This was all about the language test. Now what's next? The next criteria is the have a Canadian education, credential or the foreign equivalent. And what count as a Canadian education? So you need to have a Canadian secondary high school diploma, but if you are a foreign national, you need to assess that high school diploma. You could do that from West and any other university. Now the very most important thing, the money. What is the settlement funds criteria? So for the settlement funds to apply for this PR through this pilot, you need to prove you can support yourself or your family after you get to Canada. And your proof can be one of these following, like bank account statement, bank draft, checks, money orders. But what is the fund required? So here, this is the entire table of the family members. So if it is a one family member, the fund required is 7,963. I will attach this link in the description box so you can check what is the money criteria or the settlement funds criteria for the entire program. This was all about the eligibility criteria. As I told you in the beginning, I'm gonna tell you how to get a job offer letter. Click on get a job offer. Here, when you see the rural communities here, these are the communities which is participating for this program. When you click off any of the communities, click on continue. You will see the link when it is ready. Currently, the community hasn't launched their website. As soon as it is ready, they will attach the link here. So here you can see you can apply in that link and get a job offer letter. Once you have the job offer letter, you need to have the community recommendation. Once you get the recommendation from the community, you will be eligible to apply for your PR. So click on apply for permanent residency. The first thing you need to do here is that you need to create an account, your PR portal. You could do that right now as well. And down, you can see here the entire checklist to apply for this program. When you click here on the document checklist, when you download here, it will have the entire checklist for the Rural Community Immigration Pilot. Let's go back to the link. So here are the forms that you need to fill out in the portal itself. So there is no PDF. Then you need to fill out this IAM 0008 5669 5406 and 5562 in the portal itself. And these are the forms that you need to download and you need to upload those forms. Like one is the document checklist, another one is the offer of employment to a foreign national, schedule 1 form, and if these are the forms, if it is applicable to you, you need to fill these out the forms and upload in the portal. Other documents, as we have spoken, you need to attach here the language proficiency proof, your proof of education, settlement funds, what funds you have, as we have already spoken, your relevant work experience, your passport or your travel documents, your national identity or civil status, your police certificate. For police certificate, I have already created a video. I will attach that video in the description box so you can check later on. And if you have not applied for your PCC, you just go and apply. And then the photo, what is the valid photo? There will be criteria here, so you need to fulfill the criteria for the photo. And the last option is the fee payment receipt. The fee payment receipt, you can go online here, pay the fees, and that receipt you need to attach while you are filling that application. This was all about your document checklist. Once your document is ready, you can apply for PR under this program. Now what happens once you apply for your PR? As I told you in the beginning, I am also gonna tell you how can you get your work permit in this program. So if you are in Canada and you are looking for ways to extend your work permit, you already have a job offer letter. So you can extend your work permit under this program. At the same time, you can also apply for your spousal work permit. If you are outside of Canada, you have an opportunity to get the work permit for 2 years while you are waiting for your PR, and at the same time you can also apply for your spousal work permit. Isn't this amazing? Click on optional work permit. Here you need to see this work permit is only for the RCIP program, is valid for 2 years and only lets you work for the employer who offered you the job. And to qualify for a work permit, you must have an eligible offer letter, and then you need to have a recommendation from the participating community and be eligible to apply for a work permit. And as I mentioned before, your spouse can also apply for an open work permit at the same time as you apply for your 2-year work permit, and their work permit will only let them work in the same community as you. So if you are applying from outside of Canada, this is the criteria. You need to go and create an account. Where are you applying? If you are applying from India, you need to fulfill the visa office requirement. Just download this form and check what are their requirement, and then select the option when you are filling the criteria. Apply to come to Canada. What would you like to do in work? How long? It's a 6 months and temporary. What type of work permit do you want? So make sure you are selecting this criteria. A work permit with an LMIA exemption. Or when asked, just select the temporary at least 1 year old. And you need to make sure that you upload all the documents in the client information, like your acknowledgement of receipt, your community recommendation letter, your offer of employment form, and your proof you are qualified for an offered job, like your work experience, proof of education, and proof of additional training, and your visa requirement. Everything you need to upload in the client information. Then only they'll come to know that you have applied through this program. The second thing, if you are from inside Canada, this is the same proof you need to upload. Only the criteria will change here is the question and answer. So when you are selecting which option best describe your work situation, you need to select I am applying for a work permit through an active pilot project or an active public policy for work permits announced by IRCC. So these are the options you need to select. And again, in the information, you need to select the client information. In the client information, all those from your AOR, your confirmation, community recommendation form, your proof of experience, education and training, all those documents you need to upload in the client information. Once you upload everything, there is a high chances that you will get your work permit for 2 years, or you can extend your work permit for 2 years. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to share this video with your friends or anyone you know who is planning to immigrate to Canada, or with people whose work permit is going to expire and they are looking for ways to extend them. So let's go back to the video. Now let's click on Immigrate to Francophone Community. Eligibility criteria is same from the Francophone community as well. Just click on who can apply. It is the same criteria. Have a job offer from the designated employer, have at least 1 year of related work experience, and what count as related work experience is your job offer is from the tier O or 1, tier 2, tier 3 or 4 or tier 5, and you will be exempted if you studied from these communities. It is same here, the eligible credential in a program of 2 years or longer, and you studied full time for the entire program, got your credential no more than 18 months before applying your PR, and the same thing, or a master degrees or higher that took 2 years or less. It is the same criteria, just like the rural community. Now the next thing is the language criteria. So for Francophone community, the language which is accepted is French. You need to give the test in TEF Canada or TCF Canada. The minimum score which is needed for the Francophone, it is CLB 5 in all 4 abilities. To get the PR under this category, you make sure that you have CLB level 5. If you don't know French, you still have the time. You can go ahead and learn the French. There are so many examples that people have learned the French language and got the CLB level 5 or 6 within 6 months or 8 months. So if you don't have any other way to get the PR, make sure you go and learn French and get the CLB level 5. So this was the language criteria here. When we go back here, it is the same criteria for the Canadian education. The Canadian education, it is the same thing, Canadian secondary high school diploma. And if you are a foreign national, please assess that high school diploma from ECA. The enough money, the settlement funds, it is the same settlement funds here. Here I have attached a table here as per the family members. Here are the dollars you need to have in your account. This was all about the eligibility criteria. Now let's check how you can get a job offer letter. So These are the communities which is participating for the Francophone community. You need to come here, click on this community, select here. Once they are ready with their website, they will attach the link here. You need to click on that link and then you will be able to get the job offer letter from their website. As soon as they will launch, I will also create a video to make sure that you get the most updated information. Once you have the offer letter, you need to get a community recommendation. Once you get the community recommendation, you can go ahead and apply for your PR. To apply for your PR, you need to make sure that you have a PR portal account. So you can create your PR portal account now, so in future you will be saving your time. And just download the document checklist here. This is the Francophone Community Immigration Pilot document checklist. Make sure when you download this document checklist, you fulfill all the criteria here. Let's go back to the criteria. Here, these are the all forms that you need to fill out in the portal. Your IMM 0008, 5669, 5406 and 5562. And these are the PDF form which you need to download and fill the forms, and then you need to upload it. And these are all the proofs: your passport, your identity, your PCC, photo and fee payment receipt. You can go ahead and pay the fees, and then later on you need to attach that receipt when you are applying for your PR program. So this was all about the criteria for the PR portal. As I told you, once you apply, after that you will also be eligible to get the 2 year of work permit. So you need to click here on optional work permit. Once you click here on the optional work permit, here is the criteria. So this work permit is only for the Francophone community, valid for 2 years, and it will allow you to work for that employer who already offered you the job. The great and amazing thing here is that you can apply this work permit for you, and there is a possibility you will be applying this work permit for your spouse as well. They can also work with you in the same community. And what is the criteria here? If you're applying from outside Canada, you need to create an account, and then these are the question and answer you need to fulfill. Make sure when they are asking what type of work permit do you want, you need to select a work permit with a LMIA exemption. And in the client information, you need to upload your PR documents like your acknowledgement of receipt, your community recommendation letter, your proof of experience, your job offer letter, proof of education. All those documents you need to attach in client information, so they will know and they will prioritize your application as per your proof. And what about when you are inside Canada? So when you are inside Canada, you can extend your work permit in this program. So you need to select here how long are you planning. It's a more temporary, more than 6 months, and which option best describe your work situation. So you need to select I am applying for a work permit through an active pilot project or an active public policy for work permit announced by IRCC. And in terms of the client information documents, it's the same documents you need to attach here: your AOR, your email confirmation about your portal, community recommendation, your job offer letter. All those things you need to apply, you need to attach in your client information document. Once you attach everything, they will assess your application, give you the work permit, and as well as to your spouse as well. These are some of the best ways to get PR in Canada in 2025. The great thing is that these programs don't have the high requirements. All you need to do is just stay updated on when these communities will launch the website for you for the job offer letters. I'll post the video as soon as the information is released. If you have any questions about the process or your situation, feel free to drop them in the comment box and I'll get back to you as soon as possible based on my experience. Thanks for watching. It's Aarti Khajuria and I'll see you in the next video with more updates. Until then, stay informed and take care.